What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy the D here, aka the Black Wizard King, the Captain of the Thunder God Pirates. You know the deal. Coming at you with this week's chapter review of Black Clover. Yet again, as always, if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, definitely leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing anime content. And also remember, my Linktree is in the description, so if you want to watch me stream, see some of my other content, interact with me on social media, because my Twitter, my Twitch, my other YouTube, which is pretty much a stream dump, and something else is in there. Hell, I don't know. Whatever else I decided to put in there will be there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this week's Black Clover chapter review. Yuki Tabata's Black Clover, page 275, Hellfire Incarnate. All right, we begin with Noct explaining the plan to the Magic Knight captains. He pretty much explains that the ritual of the advent of Qliphotht, Qliphotht tree, which summons the Qliphotht tree, is pretty much just a big magic circle with 4 junctions. And then we see an illustration with the Shadow Triad included. Each one of them is on the outer circle as a junction, and then in the center we have Yami and William, who are going to be, the magic sources of the Tree of Qliphotht, and they will be the conduit by which the tree actually comes forth. And the plan, pretty much, just to simplify it, is they're going to defeat all members of the Shadow Triad and make it so the ritual can't operate. Pretty much by doing, and the plan is to do that before anything happens. Because the easy way, because even in real life, the easiest way to fix a problem, avoid it from happening. Believe me, prevention is way more effective. Than, damn, I can't think of the word, but yeah, prevention is the ultimate way of getting to have some shit, just prevent shit from happening. So then, of course, it's happening in a flashback. So then we see the 3 groups who were split up because yet again they use the Resistance and Mereoleona as the distraction to keep everybody out of the house. Well, not out of the house, out of the base. And he then goes on. We then see the 3 groups. So I'll go over who's in each group in a moment. Pretty much, he did say that they probably will be able to get away with just using anti-magic to destroy Qliphotht itself. However, there's a guarantee if it worked. And if they did it that way, there's a chance the Yami and Vengeance would die. And he says, y'all aren't gonna forgive me if that happens. Even though he's probably saying that in a sarcastic manner, because yet again, he hates Yami and doesn't give 2 fucks about William. So he probably wouldn't care. All right, so he then explains that the Triad are in 3 different points along the perimeter of the circle. They split into 3 groups and attack them simultaneously and crush them. Because, yet again, that's what kind of fucked them with Yami and Asta. They were able to defeat Dante, but when Xenon came, they weren't they were spent. B, he's powerful, so it's okay. So if we attack all 3 of them simultaneously, we should be able to end this shit instantly. Because if they can't go help each other, especially with them. Because remember, yet again, and not to say, Yami was tired, and he was actually doing pretty well against Dante for a while. But these are Magic Knight captains, and royals. Because remember, during the Elf reincarnation arc, Yami even explained he has a lot of magic power, but compared to a royal, it's not that his power is negligible or nothing, but it's just higher, noticeably so. But these are Magic Knight captains who've been training, who not only has elf magic, and a lot of them have elf magic. So that's going to be interesting because has elf magic, Langris has elf magic. I think Rill, Dorothy, and Charlotte have elf magic. And Jack the Ripper, he was actually still normal the whole time. But even then, his magic works the way it works, with his blaze absorbing magic. Noct has devil power, and then even Fuegoleon, he has Salamander helping him now. So these battles are gonna be really interesting because we're actually gonna get to see some power-ups. Because Nozel, I doubt with that now that Fuegoleon's back to not only full strength, but even stronger thanks to Salamander, I doubt he hasn't been training to catch up to him. So it's going to be really dope to see what he's got. And like I said, everybody else has fairy magic still within them. And we've seen with and some of the others that fairy magic lingers, so that can be used as a power boost. So that's really it's gonna be really interesting to see what they bring to the table. And we then say, and we then see as they're going in that there are members of the Dark Disciples, but yet again they kind of anticipate this. It's like, okay, look, even if we cause a disturbance outside the castle, they're probably going to use some big widespread weapon, being the ancient demon, to quell that. So we're still gonna have to deal with people, but the plan is to use for members of the strike force. Yeah, I'm calling them strike force. I'm refer to them as the strike force. For members of the strike force to go ahead and stay behind and keep them busy. Okay, and with that we see Nozel, Wendy. Is her name Wendy? Yeah, Wendy and Forgoleon prepare to attack. All right, we then cut outside to the blizzard, where we then see what looks like the aftermath of Mereoleona's attacks, and even the resistance is kind of flabbergasted, because we then see that the beast, its head moved, but it wasn't knocked down. And she's just floating there, and the beast is just looking at her. But we then cut back to her battles earlier. Damn it, where is this? I believe this is the elf arc. Either the elf arc or it is something. Shit. Yes. Okay. This actually would be where we take. We then cut back to the elf arc, where we see her using her Mana Zone, Cardios Brachium Barrage. And I believe this is when she was fighting either Raya or the otherworldly force. The thing that ate magic that was gonna eat everybody, but Asta was fine. Her realized that there's some things that her magic just can't do, even as powerful as she is. We then cut back to the strong magic region. This is the region that we saw before, that Asta and them did their training with Mana Skin. I believe that was the first step in and of itself to use Mana Zone. And we then see a silhouette, which we then learn is Noct, going towards an outpouring of natural mana. And then we see someone say, "I don't know who you are, but what do you want?" And we see Mereoleona Vermilion looking bad as fuck. With a new haircut, which is dope. She is butt ass naked in front of a dude, and has no shame, which, believe me, I'm cool with. But yes, sexy crazy big sis is sexy crazy big sis. Noct then says that she's as astounding as the rumors say, but he then keeps his eyes closed, puts his hand up, and asks her to put on some clothes. And it's then that he tells her the situation, but she says she couldn't care less about those half-wits, but she is quite interested in the people who are able to kidnap them. Noct then promises her that if she'll help, she will find him an ideal opponent to gauge the results of her training. And we then cut back to present, where she's like, he was right, and that her training showed her that she could get even stronger. And it's then that she starts to exude a powerful mana, and of course her mana takes the form of flames. And she then starts to think that this is fun, and she will burn everything to ash. She then goes to use her flame magic. To begin, she will defeat a legend, and she activates what looks like a new mode. And it should be noted that even while she's activating this, even though it's her own magic, and normally magic doesn't too much affect her clothes, her sleeves, at least for the most part, start to burn away. But she then takes on, it looks as if her body's become fire. It's not like that, it's just her body's been coated in fire. But she's being able to unlock a new level of fire magic that she calls Hellfire Incarnate. And it's then that even the resistance members who are looking on, they're commenting on her phenomenal magic, and they even say that it's as if her body itself has become mana, which is interesting. So it seems like this goes beyond Mana Zone and Mana Skin to a degree, but it also doesn't look like it's completely different either. Pretty much what I mean is, with Mana Skin, it's exuding your magic but keeping it close as an active defense. And Mana Zone is a way of not only increasing your sensory capabilities, but also increasing your attack range. Such as, for an example, when Yuno was going against Licht, especially in the anime, when he was going towards Licht, and he was able to use his Spirit Storm from behind Licht. He didn't teleport behind Licht. He was still coming at him from the front, but he was able to summon and cast the attack from behind him, from behind Licht. So it looks like this goes beyond them, both of those, but also combines it. So it's expanding your magic, but taking that expanded magic, then compressing it to your body like Mana Skin. And it looks like not only does this increase probably her not only her physical attributes like speed and defense, but probably bolsters offense in a considerable way. Because then she goes to attack the beast, but it swings at her. And as his hand's going towards her, she is still able to dodge and be incredibly nimble. And she then continues to run up its arm and is able to land what looks like it could potentially be a decisive blow. And as her punch sends it reeling back, she then goes Mana Zone, full release. So she uses this, but then converts it back to a Mana Zone, which she attacks at full power. And she even says, "Go back to sleep, this time forever." And she unleashes her new technique, Caldios Barakium, Purgatory Abyss, to which the entire giant demon is encased and immolated by fire. And it's such that even though we pan backwards and we can see like the aftermath, this explosion can probably be seen and felt for miles around. And it's then that we see our matchups in the final panel. We see Charlotte and Rill versus Magicula's host. Still can't remember that chick's name. We don't give a fuck. We see Langris and Yuno versus Xenon. And then we see Noct and Jack the Ripper versus Dante. And with that, the chapter is concluded. Thoughts on the chapter? More Mereoleona. I'm just here for it. Like that. Like I think without exception, above every female character in Black Clover, I think she is not only the hottest, but you know, the strongest. I think out of all the women. Of course, I think Noelle's gonna come to get stronger than her, but at least for now, she's just gonna be that bitch. Let me see. This magic, very interesting. Like I say, I think it goes beyond just normal Mana Skin and Mana Zone. I think, like I say, it's an expansion, but a compression of those techniques to reach a new level. Because they were even saying it's like her whole body has become mana. So I think this could potentially be something that all the characters could potentially learn to use. Because yet again, it seems like she's like sort of beyond the captain. She's just captain level. But you know, she doesn't really fuck with everybody, and she trains out in the wilderness a lot. So she's more in tune with natural mana. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Yet again, still no sign of Asta, or Noelle and the crew. So that's weird. Oh, also, Radies, Dorothy, and Spatial Magic Buddy. We don't know where they are. Like that's one thing in this chapter, we never saw them. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what their purpose is. So they could be like from the Strike Force, different branches of Strike Force. Maybe they're backup, maybe they're sabotage. So we don't know. But yes, so Yuno and Langris are going against Dante. Now, Dante has bone magic and spatial magic thanks to his demon. So I think it's gonna be like how in the Royal Knight exam. Yeah, the Royal Knight exam. How when him and Finral were canceling each other out. I think that's his purpose for being there. Because I think Yuno with his elf powers and Zephyr the Wind Spirit, I think, well, not Zeph, this Wind Spirit's name is Zephyr, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, with his elf magic and the Wind Spirit, he should be able to overcome him. So that's kind of like their strategy. Like, okay, Longris is gonna go ahead and cancel out the space magic. Yuno's gonna fight. Bet. Indeed. Seems standard. Alright, Jack the Ripper and Noct versus Dante. Dante has body manipulation magic, which he normally uses for regeneration, but can also use it to, yet again, modify his bodies in different types of attacks, tentacles, and whatnot, and even shrug off shit that he really shouldn't be able to shrug off. So we're gonna get another Nox Demons, because this time Grimoldio or Gimadello, he left that with Asta, so we're gonna get to see another one of his demons. And it's interesting. Can Jack's blades cut gravity? I think they can. Either that or his blades may be able to, to instead of just having to cut a certain element of magic to have his blades take on those characteristics, because he's fought so many people, so many different types of magic, he may be able to have his blades take on those properties without having to be exposed to those magics every time. So that could be it, because it's like, okay, if Yami was able to push this guy to the brink, if I can still summon Yami's darkness magic through my blades, that should be enough. Of course, he might even try to use his blades on Nox magics to go there. Let me see. Old girl. I think it's Verdanska or something like that. I think it's something Russian. But anyway, so she's got blood magic, like blood curse magic, and shit. It's like blood curse and something else. But anyway, so we got Charlotte and Rill using the painting magic, which can take on any attribute, and Charlotte using her rose magic. Now both of them have elf power-ups that they can use, so that's great. Now I'm hesitant to say what's going to happen here, because now part of me thinks this isn't going to go right and they're going to be defeated, but a part of me thinks like, okay, in order for this arc to be somewhat substantial, the Tree of Qlipoth has to go through. Those demons have, even if it doesn't get to the bottom with a Luciferia, this has to go through, or else it's going to be a really short arc, which it may shape up to be, but I think we're done with those 4 or 5 chapter arcs. And this is longer than 4 or 5 chapters, but I think we're done with arcs like that, so don't know. Because remember, we still got to see Asta, we still got to see Noelle and them. So like I said, either they're gonna win the fights and then they're gonna slink off and then shit's gonna happen, or they're gonna lose and then Asta they're gonna have to come back them up and then shit's gonna be stopped. But I think either way, I think that the Tree of Qlipoth is still going through. But let me know what you think. What did you think about the chapter? Did you think they could have done something different? But yeah, I think those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on this week's chapter. Let me know what you thought. Yet again, this has been your boy, The G, signing out. See ya.